Hello everyone, this is Val and welcome to Let's Play RimWorld. Today I'm going to be doing a live stream that's a tutorial. It will be loaded on YouTube at some point in the near future. Alright, RimWorld. This is version Alpha 3F and it is, well, because it's Alpha, you should be aware that means the gameplay is not fully fleshed out yet, and in fact gameplay elements may be modified, changed, removed. It's hard to say what the developer will decide to do. However, the state it's in is certainly playable. The tutorial may become outdated as future versions of the game are released. However, you can certainly play it in its current state, and that's why I'm doing a tutorial. So I'm going to show you a tutorial, or show you a world that I already have. It's called DejaVuTon. And the reason I want to show you that is I can show you an in-play game, the features that I've got set up, and then after that I'm going to actually start playing a new game on a harder setting to give you an idea of well, how to start things up. Now that said, this is a survival game. It's a colony survival game, like some other new ones that are very similar are Timber and Stone. I think that's been out for a little bit. I think maybe it's still in beta, I'm not quite sure. That's another one that's very similar. Well, obviously this is a space-based one, but I mean, other than that, the gameplay. Nemoria is somewhat similar. Timber and Stone, to a lesser extent, has layers. This is a isometric. You're looking down on the world, and it's only one layer. So I can't directly think of one that is exactly like this, like in terms of format. But anyway, let's have a look. Okay, so as you can see, this is actually the largest world you can have, which is huge. You probably want to have a map where you have a certain amount of stone, because that's where you're going to find your metal that you need to build things. And without the metal, well, you only get a certain amount that's appearing on the surface. That's debris that's fallen or whatever. So as a space game, you are basically got 3 guys, start with 3 guys, and you're stranded on this planet. And you've got to survive. Alright, so some of the features that I like to do when I'm setting up a new base is I generally like to put up a wall and dig in and get a power source. And you usually want to look for a spout. And when I do the actual gameplay, you'll see me doing that. This base has a number of features that I think are pretty useful. I may tweak them because I'm still deciding what the best strategy is. But in general, you want to have guys, you know, coming in some kind of firing lane so that you can take them out. These are, let me just activate them. They're currently inactive, so they're not drawing power. But these are turrets. You have to be careful how many turrets you add, because each turret counts as 0.4 of a person when it's calculating how many raiders descend against you. And you do. You get raiders, you get sun flares, and usually die to the raiders. The sun flares and such tend to, well, make things harder. You can have crop blights, which will destroy your food source. You want to make sure you have a good stock of food. And this is a visitor. There are factions in the game now. That's a new thing with this Alpha 3. So anyway, I like to have an entryway that people get filtered into. You can add, it comes with the Alpha, there's a mod that adds in blasting caps, or blasting charges. These are very useful in taking out raiders when they're pounding on your door here, or as they're approaching. You have to time them correctly, but they're very useful. I believe they were changed not to be part of the base game, but as a mod, because some people felt they were overpowered, and other people said that they wouldn't play without them. And so rather than just take them out entirely, they put them in as a mod. I like to play with them. You will want to set up a dining area. First thing you're going to want to do is, or one of the first things you're going to want to do is set up a NutriPaste dispenser, because your guys get unhappy, and you want to keep them happy. And one of the ways you can keep them happy is by keeping their environment clean, putting carpets down after you've researched that, making it look better. You can see there's a carpet being placed in here. I'm going to move the kitchen in there. Another thing you could use to help keep them happy is beds. You don't want them sleeping on the ground. They can. You set up beds on the ground, but that's one of the things that makes them unhappy. You also want a room that is a certain size. I found that if you have a 4x4 room, they don't think the room's too small, but they're just kind of meh about the room. But if you go and look at their thoughts with these rooms, these are 5x5 rooms. He has a social chat, actually. Let's see if I can find one that's showing the... They might not have been asleep long enough. Let me just let them sleep a little bit more here. Okay, let's see if their thoughts change. That's one of the reasons I wanted to show you. Nope. Oh, stop. I want you guys to show. It should say spacious interior. And of course, because I want to show you, it's not here. Dang it. Oh, wait. Spacious interior. There we go. That's why. These are the smaller rooms. So, anyway, if the room is big enough, this is a... Here, let me just do something. Let's try plan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is a 5x6 room. This one is the 5x5, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could swear that he was saying, the thoughts were saying that this was a spacious interior, but I guess I was wrong. I guess it's just not quite big enough, and you need a 5x6 to get them to think it's a spacious interior. But you want those positive things because it helps increase their happiness and their loyalty, so they can take a little bit more misfortune before they start to have a mental breakdown. You want to avoid the mental breakdowns. So the things that make them happy are cooked food as opposed to raw, sleeping in a bed, sleeping in their own room, sleeping in a spacious room. Those are all things that are going to contribute to that. So the things you're trying to manage is building up your colony, keeping your guys happy and alive, and growing your colony over time. And that's not as easy as it sounds, depending on which AI you pick. Right. Oh, I should mention this too. You also want to set up a prisoner area, because that's one of the main ways you get new guys. These were once raiders, and we captured them. And, well, now we're just trying to convince them that we're their best buds by feeding them, trying to recruit them, and giving them friendly chats until they love us. And as you can see, this person, well, he's getting there. You know, he thinks we're kind of okay. I guess you could make it easier to get them to be recruited by giving them each individual rooms. But, well, these guys are going to have to make do with a rug. And lighting. Oh, that's the other thing that makes your guys unhappy. They spend too much time in the dark. So it's very important that you put in a light of some sort in areas where they're mining if they're in underground. Otherwise, send them outside to do stuff to make them happy. Let's see, is there anything else I want to just talk about before I start? You're going to need a graveyard. This is a mass graveyard, as you will notice there. That's because there's been a lot of raiders. You don't want to leave dead bodies lying around. People get unhappy when they keep walking past dead bodies, and you don't want them unhappy. You will be setting up different zones. This is a storage stockpile, and you can set up what things you want to go into that stockpile and what things you do not. You can set up growing areas, and you can determine what's going to grow in there. The default is potato plant. You can also grow strawberry plants, which can be eaten. Rose, daylily, and dandelions, I believe you can sell them. I'm not sure, as it's been a while since I've grown them, and I don't know if that's changed. Whether there's other uses for them now, but in the past, they basically were just to sell. And, oh yes, a dumping stockpile. So I've got a dumping stockpile here, here, and here for different purposes. Basically, that's where they're going to haul all the junk. Although rock can be cut into rocks that are used to build stone walls, like you see here. So it's not technically junk, but you need to put it somewhere. All right. I think that's everything I wanted to show you in an existing world. I think the next thing to do is to actually go into a world and start doing stuff there. Oh, yeah, I think I will mention a couple more things before we do that. Medicine. Apparently, you still can't do anything with this in this alpha. I don't know if the intent is just to allow you to sell them eventually, or if you're actually supposed to be able to use them to heal your guys up. Right now, you can't do anything with them. I've been informed. I haven't actually had enough experience trying to sell them to see if you can sell them now, but you can certainly, as far as I can tell, can't use them. As I was saying, you have factions, and you can see how popular or unpopular you are with the various factions. Once you get into the negative enough territory, they'll become hostile towards you. Otherwise, you'll get visitors stopping by now and then, and they'll just kind of wander around and then wander away. There's not too much you can do to interact with them at this point. You can talk to them through the comms console, with which you want to use your person who has the best social skill. The comms console, however, all you can really do is give them money, which is silver. This here, you can give them silver, and it makes them a little more better disposed to you. But as of yet, you can't do much more beyond that. But I'm sure much more is being planned. This is new in Alpha 3. I think there was one more thing I wanted to mention. I'm just trying to remember what it was. No, I think I will go ahead and... Oh, no, now I remember what it is. Every time I start to say, okay, now I'm going to go on, then I remember. There are two ways to set priorities. You can set manual priorities, which is what I've done here for these guys, for the different tasks. But you can also the default is to basically just say turn it on or turn it off. You're not actually managing how important that is. So that is up to you how you do that. And, well, you'll see when I'm working on it. We're playing the game. In the tutorial game, how I go about setting that up. Yeah, one more thing. Your guys obviously have different skills, different skill levels, but they also have different preferences. For example, my understanding is, if you look at here, it says, it's about 3 lines down, passion, burning, learns at 1.5 times speed. So you'll kind of want to get your guys doing things they really like, because they're going to learn a lot faster. So this one he kind of likes. Passion is interested. He learns at 1 time speed. If he doesn't really like it, yeah, 0.3 speed. So you want to try to focus it on what they're interested in. Currently, the backstories actually influence what you start with in the various skills. The traits right now are just cosmetic. They don't do anything, at least as of yet. Oh, it says this will change in future versions. So at some point, these will actually have an influence on your characters. And, yep, I think that's it. I think we are ready to start a game. So let's go ahead and let's go back to the main menu. And I'm just going to take a quick drink here. All right. So let's start a new colony. And I can tell you a little bit about the AI storytellers. this is, I haven't seen a game use this before, so I find this really an interesting concept, and so far I'm liking the way that it has been turning out. You kind of choose the flavor of the AI for the game by choosing these different storytellers. The one that the game I was just showing you was played on is Chill Cali Classic. You do get things happening, but they don't happen at quite the same rate, and they're not quite as severe when they happen. And they don't escalate as quickly. So you could play it on, let's see, where's Phoebe Peaceful? Where's that? I guess I actually click on them. There we go. Phoebe Friendly. I believe there you can just build your colony. It's basically sandbox mode. You don't have to worry about things attacking you. Raiders and the like. Chill Cali Classic, like I said, was the one that I was playing on. I would recommend starting out with this one if you don't want the Phoebe Friendly, just to get your feet wet with the game before you jump into the harder one, Cassandra Classic. And apparently there's an even harder one now, Tough Cleopatra Classics. So that's even harder. I have not played at that level yet because I'm still having trouble at the old one. This is a new storyteller for Alpha 3F, I believe, or Alpha 3 rather. And then there's Randy Random. Yeah, it's random. So I haven't tried that one either. That one probably would be pretty interesting. So I'm going to choose Cassandra Classic because that will throw more stuff at us quicker, which I think is useful for the tutorial. So you start with 3 random guys, or ladies, as the case may be. And so you can take a look at them and see if you like them. I don't know if the age has an effect on them, but frankly, your colonies don't last long enough to worry about your guys dying of old age, even if they start out old. Oh, I am so sorry. I got a cough here. My throat is acting up. Let me just mute the mic here. Wow. I apologize for that noise that you heard prior to me muting the mic. I wasn't quick enough. Alright. Let's see. I don't really like any of these guys. Let's go ahead and kind of re-roll them all. Because you can get guys that are pretty decent. You have to watch the incapable ofs. This one's incapable of social and cleaning. That means this person would be no good as a warden. And, well, yeah, they'd be useless at trying to keep the place tidy. This person has nothing that they're incapable of, but they don't really have a lot of stuff they're interested in, so yeah, I'm going to be picky. This is going to be a hard enough place without having... Okay, so this one, that's useful. Really likes growing. Is okay on construction. Not too bad. Wow. I'm just not... I wonder if the AI storyteller you picked actually has an influence, because it seems to me I was getting much nicer guys when I was on Chill Cali. Okay, this person's not too bad. And come on. Once in a while, you can get people that are really interested in a few things. Well, we've already got somebody that likes growing. So, like this person. Not good at most things, but loves construction, loves cooking, loves crafting. So we got social and medicine, so that's nice. Mining's okay. Mining's okay. Doesn't really like mining, but we can focus them on growing, possibly. Alright, so we'll start with these three. So we've got Scripio, Kent, male. We have Tadashi Yates, male, 19. And we have one lady, 22, Tammy Petty. We actually have quite a... Usually I have some older guys in here. Oh well. Okay, so what are these people incapable of? Incapable of intellectual or crafting. Means this person can't do research and can't craft. Well, we got somebody that loves crafting, so not too worried. So this isn't too bad. You can read these to see what these influence. I won't spend the time doing that for this tutorial, but they're interesting to read. So I encourage you to take a look at them. Now, under Advanced, you can set the size of the world. For the tutorial, I'm going to pick a medium one. Alphas, in general, are not optimized. This one warns you specifically, this is not optimized, and only run the bigger ones if your machine can handle it. I have run it on the highest setting on my machine, so I think I'm pretty safe at taking the medium one for this tutorial. Now, let's pray that we get a world with enough stone in it. I have had worlds where there was so little stone, I had really no recourse but to restart the game because, well, you can't do anything without having a place to dig and find metal. So this is the little blurb that comes up when you first land. The three of you awaken in your long sleep sarcophagi to the sound of sirens and ripping metal. You barely get to the escape pods before the ship is torn apart. Sometimes later, you land on this unknown RimWorld. As pieces of the shredded starship fall around you, you start making plans to survive. Sorry, my throat is acting up, so I'm going to be drinking bits of water now and then here, more often than I tend to do normally. Alright, and there's the Wild West kind of music. So let's pause it. Now, when you start out, it always gives you a stockpile, a dumping stockpile, and your guys' sleeping areas. We're also lucky we've got some metal right here. But let's see if we're very lucky about actually... Oh no. This is... this is terrible. Well, I think I'll do the tutorial on this world, but in general, if I was planning to play this as a longer game, there's not enough area here for you to live. You're going to run out of metal. Not to mention, you need kind of a good area to hide out in. You can see we got old kind of structures sitting here. So the first thing that I like to look for is steam vents. So let's see. We could go to some of these existing buildings and set up there. That's an option. But we want to find steam vents. And steam vents are usually a little easier to see if you've got it running. But look here, steam vent. Oh, wait, we actually do have rock on this edge here, from here to here. And the other side, does it have any? No. So, I can tell you we're going this direction. We have at least some area here. We've got a steam vent. That's going to be our source of power, so we're not relying on solar energy. And we have a decent amount of metal nearby, here, and down here. Now, we do have to kind of put up walls on 3 sides, which is a little bit not optimal. There's a steam vent right here in the middle. We could be totally brazen and set up right in the center, but yeah. There's another one here, so you could set up here-ish, because you got this place to dig in. But I think we're going to go here, because we got that nice steam vent that's Oh, there's a room there of some type. Kind of makes me wonder. We're going to have to try to dig in there and see what we got. But where's that steam vent I saw? There it is. So that's a little bit further south. Now, if you look on the ground, you can see these things with the red axes on them. These are debris and such, I assume, from other spaceships or possibly just yours, and food. You can click on them and allow them to gather them. You can double click and select all the like ones in an area. Let's find a patch where there's actually things with like. So like here. So I selected all of them. Or you can just click and drag like that and then say unforbid them. You don't want to unforbid too many things if they're too far away. Especially on a larger map, your guy's going to be going way to heck and gone to get the stuff. In this case, oh, and that's the other thing. What are you guys doing? Apparently they want to go there for some reason. We'll change their minds there. If your guys are in the middle of all the debris, you can't select it because the game assumes you're trying to select your guys, which, well, in general, if you're doing that, you are. Where are you going? You say you're standing. What are you doing? You're moving. That's fine. Don't move there. When you look at your guys, there should be 3 weapons. 2 to 3 weapons on the ground. I'm seeing 2. There should be... Usually there's a rifle and 2 pistols. I see the 2 pistols. It's a character. Shooting 6. Shooting 3. And shooting 3. Okay, well... I do not see the gun. Or the rifle. Alright, so maybe we're just starting with 2 guns. So let's give these guys, tell them to equip those pistols. I do not see... Usually there's a rifle here as well, but I am not seeing it. Doesn't mean it's not there, it just means in this light I can't see it. Right, so we know we're going to set up over there. Let's go ahead and let's get rid of these beds. This dumping... oh, so we have to go to zones to get rid of this. Delete zone. Get rid of those. Now we can go over here and decide how we're going to do this. Let's see, how big is our geothermal generator? It's not going to fit in there, so we're going to have to dig that out anyway. So let's go ahead and tell them to mine out this area. Now, you have to be careful when you're digging that you don't cause a collapse. So you have to put up walls and things like that to prevent collapses. So this will go here. It should fit. Where's the hole? There's fumarole. It's right there. So in this case, I'm going to... Let's just cancel these. Tell them to mine basically an entrance. You're going to want to line it in metal walls because those conduct electricity. But, okay, so that gets our guys going here. We are going to want to set up a growing zone. And you have to place it on this type of landscape. The green. So let's go ahead and you don't want to make it too big at first because you only have a few guys. So I think that's good for the one. And then I'm going to set up a second one. Oh, no, I didn't want to do that. I don't want it all one area. So if you decide you made an error, like I just decided, I didn't want that. Let's go ahead and delete this. Let's try this again. Okay, I want a growing zone like this. We are growing strawberries here. Growing zone. Because it defaults to potato. No, it did it again. Okay, so I'm gonna have to put you have to put a gap in between. I didn't try to put the side by side before. So let's go ahead and leave a gap. Like so. There. Now we can say, okay, fine, you can be the potato plants. Now, we don't have any place for them to sleep just yet. That's indoor. We're not really near any well, that doesn't look like it has a roof on it, though. Well, if we complete the walls, it should get a roof over it, so we could put them indoors there. It's a little further away than I normally like, and we'll have to move them as soon as possible, but... Nah, they can sleep in the open. They're tough survivors. They can sleep there. Furniture. So these are the cheap sleeping beds, the ones that don't require you to make them. You just throw them down. So they should move there. And now we need to set up 2 stockpiles. We need to set up a dumping stockpile for trash. And so I usually like to put that a little ways away, like not a huge distance, because they're going to keep walking there to put stuff away.